Oh, we showing shirts.
Oh, we got our swag on. We got our swag on. Yeah. So everybody, we've got our uniforms on. Welcome to another episode. And we're working on that website so that we can start, having. I've already had a couple of people like, when can I buy a sweatshirt? When can I buy a t-shirt? So it's coming. It's coming. So hi Shahida. Hi
Hi,
Chris.
Sonia.
Hi, ladies.
Chris.
Hi, ladies.
So it was another episode of Married at First Sight, and I'm just gonna pass the mic over
Go
to
ahead.
Shahida. Go on, girl.
Can I just start?
Go.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Full disclosure, everybody, I fell asleep on this one. I got sinus problems.
It's 2 hours.
Sinus medicine. I was
And
tired.
it's 2
Thank
hours.
you. It's too long. You're taking up my time. But I want to say about Olajuwan. I was hanging in there with him for week after week after week. Hanging in there with him. My thing with Olajuwan, I honestly think that he is so fucking scared to get in the bed with her and have sex that he's making up all kinds of shit to say this ain't for me. This ain't for me. You're not for me. Because that whole thing about this is what I did see. The whole thing about the cleaning up after the party. If she didn't want to clean up after the party, it's gonna be there tomorrow. If it's like 2-3 days from now, she can clean up after the party, then you got something to bitch about. But if you like to clean up right away, then sir, you go ahead and you clean up right away. And to question her womanhood on, I knew it was some domestic bullshit. He's done for me. I'm done with him. Unless he does some complete turnaround in the next three, how many more episodes left? We got probably about maybe 4 to 5 episodes. Unless he does some complete turnaround, he's not for my girl Katina. And you know that's my girl. I'm done. Because I know you all got more because you all seen the whole thing.
Chris?
He really let me down. He really let me down. Because I could just hear Tanya going, see, I told you.
Because we were caping for him.
Yes. Shahida, you are 100% right. He is terrified. He is terrified of being married in a relationship with, and he's looking for anything to get himself out of it. He's being so, if he wants that, you can find a slave who's going to cook and clean and be a wife. I was watching Kevin Samuels, he does his thing. He's like, are you ready to be a wife? Which is like, basically someone you can find someone who's going to cook, who's going to clean, who's going to be that wife for you. Constantine is not the one. She is not that woman. She is fine. She is sweet. She's just not a domestic goddess. She's a goddess, yes, but she's not a domestic goddess. And if you want a domestic goddess, then go get yourself that. And you know what? You know who will do that more likely than sisters?
Noi.
So
you said Noi?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I don't think that's what he was talking about, but
no, I know.
Okay.
But he was overboard. Overboard with how he talks to her. I'm about to go through that damn TV and fucking snatch his ass. And don't fucking talk to her that way. She don't deserve to be talked to that way. If you want to scold her or say, look, I'm disappointed, this, that, and the other, how Steve talked to Noi of like, look, this is how I feel, this is what I'd like, blah, 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 blah. But don't fucking degrade her and make her feel like shit and talk down to her like she is. Come on, man.
How dare you? How dare you, little penis man?
My turn.
Go.
So, I say, Chris, you right. Because when I was watching it, I was just like, I knew he was a piece of shit. I knew there was something about him. I was on the fence. I agreed with some things he said in previous episodes, but I was like, there is just something with this man that I just don't like. And he showed his whole pompous, ignorant ass on Wednesday night. And also proved to me, again, watching how he was talking to her and talking about her, just proved to me there's a reason why you didn't date black women. Because a black woman would have tore your ass up. Katina was just holding her tongue there. I think she kind of wanted to go in, but I think she was kind of shell-shocked that he said that to her. And I don't think that, I'm taking my words back. I don't think that was shocked. I think that was trauma.
Yeah. I think she's traumatized. I think she's feeling abused.
That was coming from her, because she, not only did she tell him as he was going in on her that she doesn't cry because she's been verbally abused before. And what did he do? Instead of checking himself and saying, let me just tighten up and not say nothing further, he just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. What Olajuwan needs, he needs a submissive mail order bride. He needs to go get one of them and train her ass up. Because like Cal said, this ain't the 1950s anymore. Yes, there are still some of us out there, I'm one of them, that is a traditionalist. Even though I have a career and I work, if I'm with a man or a husband or what have you, I'm prone to do the more domesticated stuff while he's doing the more quote unquote manly role stuff. But this whole tit for tat, I've never been a tit for tat person in any relationships. If you feel, I don't care who made the mess in the house, if I see a dirty floor or dishes in the sink or a dirty bathroom or clothes piling up, I'm going to wash them and clean it. I'm not going to tit for tat and be like, oh, you only said half of you don't. Well, that she was kind of wrong when she said, I'll do half of the floor. If she indeed did say that, that was kind of stupid.
I think that's wrong of her.
But it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But he took it too far. And when he questioned her womanhood, that was a gut jab for me. Don't you ever question a woman's womanhood.
I think in that the scenes that I saw someone deliberately trying to really hurt and cut somebody down. And that's usually a person who's very insecure with themselves. If you got to really cut somebody down. And I was just like, why? Last week you're praising her, you're loving her. Why do you want to hurt her so bad? Like the whole thing about you don't cry. Why do you need to see her cry? She shouldn't be crying at this point, this stage of the game. Why would she be crying at any point in a new marriage? Why? But that was like so important to him. He was so awful in the part that I saw. It's just so awful. And for me, there's no coming back. Because even if he changed who he was and he started acting better, if she decided to stay with him, I'll be like, I'll never trust him again. But if you decide to do that, then good luck. But as me personally, I don't like him, and I'm never going to like him again. He's done.
Going back to what you said, Shahida, the sex thing is interesting because I'm so curious on why they haven't had sex, and it's because of him.
Right?
It's because he's the one that doesn't want to have. He's the one that doesn't have, which is so weird to me, because if you have your wife and your wife looks like that, and your wife is into you, and you're into her, why aren't you fucking her? Why aren't you fucking her?
Maybe he's. Again, it could also go back to he's never been with a black woman.
They said he did mess around with black women. I don't know if he.
Yeah, that's true too. He did say he did mess around with black women,
but even then, and still, what's holding you back? Yeah, but what's holding you back from having sex with having sex in general? So you think it's been 2 weeks and he hasn't been fucking, right? at all, unless he's fucking someone outside. But they've been together this whole time, and you got married, and you have the license to have sex with your wife. You have a license to that woman.
I think he might have embellished a little bit.
In
the beginning.
I've been saying that from the beginning. I think he embellished a lot.
I think he embellished. I think he was trying to make himself out. He was talking about Isaac and how he was the in the streets kind of dude and this and that, had player, what have you. I think, yeah, he might have been going to the clubs and going to the bars and hanging out like that. But I don't think for a minute that he was slinging his dick like he claims he was slinging his dick.
I don't know. That's a good-looking brother, and he's got a little, even though he talks too much, he's got some swag. I know a lot of women who would be totally down.
I agree that he's good-looking, but I don't think he has swag. I don't think he has game. Listening to him talk and especially how he has dealt with Katina, I don't think he really has game. I think he can get a lot of women, and he probably has slept with a lot of women, but that doesn't mean he has game.
Yeah, but okay, fine. He doesn't have game, but he can fall into some pussy, as opposed to mock the shock.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Dudes can fall into it easily because women will go after them first without them even having to really talk. You know what I mean?
Fine. But I definitely do think he's been doing some damn anyway. But bottom line is, why hasn't he slept with his wife? Why hasn't he slept with his wife? And it's because of him. That to me is echoing the thing about him being insecure about something and maybe self-sabotaging. You know, he's got some issues.
And he's a shit talker. He's like a bragger. He's braggadocious. I own my own home. I work for the state. I paid off all my student loans. Sir, you went to college on a bunch of athletic scholarships. How much student loan debt do you got? Probably what? 10K, whoopity ding dong.
And also another thing is, remember when he talked about when she went to the store and he kind of degraded? That was one of the first indications when he kind of degraded her by saying, "Yeah, she only came back with a loaf of bread." She's like, "I'm only used to shopping for one." Now on her end, I don't think she's used to being in a relationship like where it's an equal. She's used to being a single. And
she lives at home.
She lives at home with her mother. She's never lived outside of that home. And she's a foodie. She's a food blogger. She's made that very clear from the get-go that she goes out to eat 98% of the times because we don't have access to her Instagram now, but she is always Instagramming on places that she's eating. So it's like, and here's the thing again, if she comes home, if my spouse or significant other comes home and I know that there's an issue with that they've never really done food shopping like that by themselves. If they went the first time and brought back like a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread, the standard, blizzard shit, then I wouldn't belittle them. I would say, you know what? Let's go shopping together. And let's get the staples, eggs, milk, butter, cheese, whatever. And then it's not brain surgery here, people. But the fact that he just belittles her and it is the verbal abuse, his tone, his pointing of the finger and this and that. I was like, you know what? Just like I had a Chris and Alyssa moment where I was like, where is a producer? Where is one of these experts? Somebody needs to step the hell in and address this and check this motherfucker, because the level of disrespect that's going around this season is disturbing for me.
He doesn't have any compassion for her at all. You know what I mean?
That's a good word.
It's all about him.
He doesn't have.
But where did that go? Because last week you would have thought, or the week before you would have thought, this man, cherishes her. Complete turnaround.
Because did you peep when they were at the Zaz restaurant and they took that cooking class and the guy showed her how to make that coconut shrimp and she fed it to him and he was like, it's just the little digs The like little microaggressions that I don't.
I missed
her. He was like, "Girl, if you cook like this, I'd buy you 5 more rings." Fuck you, motherfucker! I don't need no goddamn rings. Why would you say that? I can't stand him. I didn't like him from the jump. Like I said, I agree with certain things with regards to the Chris and Alyssa situation and the Mark and Lindsay situation, but there was always something off with that dude, and he solidified it for me this episode. There's nothing that this brother can do or say that's going to make me be on Team Olajuwan. He's done for me.
By the way, they're going to stay together.
I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, I want her to string his ass along and then crush his hopes and crush his ego and his manhood at decision day and just be like, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to my mama's house, back to my food blogging with my girls, and fuck off. You go back to your old 90-year-old kitchen with your friggin' 800-year-old
coffee curtains. Coffee curtains.
Grapes.
But I'm wondering how the dynamic's going to change when they have sex, if they have sex. They've got to have sex. When are they going to have sex? Because I think a whole emotional, mental. I don't think so.
No,
I think he'll check himself a little bit. Right now, he's kind of been like, blah, but I think he's gonna if she puts it on him, he's gonna be like, I'm sorry.
No, because I think he's gonna stay true to form, and he's gonna turn into an even bigger dick.
That's
and
how
now
I
that he
feel.
had sex with her, she's his wife. You know how he says it? You're my wife. Like it's a piece of property. Yeah. I think if he has sex with her and it's good, and she's still the little like kind of meek and just kind of, he's going to walk all over her, or he's going to get worse and really be like overbearing with her and control.
If she puts it on him, that's the one thing that she has. It's not the one thing, but that's a major thing that she has that he wants. That he wants.
If he wanted it, he would have had it by now.
Right.
No, but he's afraid of it, though. That's the whole thing. He's afraid of it. He's afraid he's going to lose his power because this is the only power he fucking has. And when he gives that power over to her, I'm telling you, let's see. Because even in the previews,
he's going to be a bigger asshole.
Yep.
Even in the previews that we saw, that I'm waiting for, when he's going, she's texting. Remember, she was texting some other dude or whatever. He's like, why are you doing that? I'm telling you, he's afraid of being whipped. I shouldn't say whipped.
I don't know. I don't know his reasonings as to why he's not having sex, but I have to disagree. I think if they do have sex and the longer they stay together, he's going to turn into a complete dick. He's going to be an asshole.
He already is one. I just think he's just going to be progressing as he is. He's an asshole.
Yep.
You don't treat anybody like that. And if I was Katina's mom, he's not coming back. I mean, there's nothing that you can do when your child says that they want to be with somebody. But oh god,
did you watch the after party, Tanya?
I sure did.
I didn't watch it.
I did wake up towards the end of it, though.
The only thing that they said, because it was on the after party, it was
Lindsay,
Noy, Lindsay, and Jasmina. And they saved the Olajuwan Katina shit until the end. And
I did see that part.
They were all in agreement that he should have never spoken to her that way. They were not happy with that. And Rudy Huxtable was beside herself. And you already know if she has that motherfucker on next week, she gonna get in that ass. Please believe me.
So what was who's next? Can I start with somebody else?
Go.
I was very disappointed in again. Week after week, Jasmina. Can I just look at Chris? Both of y'all did the same thing.
But before you start, let me just say, Rudy Huxtable got in her ass.
Okay, I didn't see that. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead. Tell me. First of all, Michael is extremely considerate. He's trying so hard. I see people on Twitter, and they keep saying, "But he lied about the
he didn't lie
and everything."
but
That, to me, it was a lie too, because
even if it
honest,
was but it
wasn't lying by omission.
It wasn't a direct, like, I'm trying not to tell her. Yes, he should. You're right. He should have told her, but that's such a minor personality thing that you're just getting to know each other, and maybe I should have said something, and he regretted it and he apologized for it. So I can deal with him making that mistake if he owns up to it.
Agreed.
So go ahead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I agree too. But my point with saying that, they're saying that, and then they're comparing him to Michael from a couple of seasons ago. Remember Michael, who faked his W-2s and everything?
Yes, Michael and
Mika. Not
on
that level. He's not on that level.
Who?
But he seems to be very considerate.
Michael and Mika, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, right? He seems to be extremely thoughtful. He tries to think about what he's going to do and what he's going to say to her. So when he comes to you and he says, "How can I communicate to you?" And the first thing that you think of is say that, just like anybody would communicate to anybody, like, he's a fucking idiot. He's trying to find a way where you won't get upset about anything that he says. And the aggressor is her.
Mm-hmm.
The yeller is her.
Yeah.
The attitude problem is her. She's everything that she's saying he is. It's you, honey, not him. It's you. And I was so disappointed in how she acted at that picnic. And she was immediately aggressive.
Like a light switch. You see how she is? Like a light switch. As soon as he says something she don't like, it's like,
and he's trying to talk to you. And Jasmina, this isn't one of your kindergarten kids. You talk to him like a grown man. You don't talk to him like he's a 5 or 6 year old little boy. You don't have to talk down to them. I'm so sick of her and her condescending attitude. You did not need to be in this process. And again, I go back to one, she's never had a boyfriend in the same state. She doesn't know how to relate to men on a day-to-day basis. Father, she ain't seen that. She hasn't seen a good marriage. None of that. The problem is you need therapy, Katina. Jasmina, you need therapy. Done.
So I want to apologize to our folks because I was all over her when the season first started. You couldn't tell me nothing about Miss Jasmina, and I legit thought that they were going to be the Boston version of Woody and Armani. So let me first apologize to Woody and Armani because shit, I was way off the rails with that one. Oh, ain't nobody gonna ever be Woody and Armani. But let me just say this: she kept talking about her tone. His tone, but it's her that has the fucked up tone. And I agree with you, Shahida. She's not talking to him like a boyfriend or a friend or
a man.
A man. She's talking to him like she's his mother. And I feel so bad for Michael because Michael is now Mark in that he is so petrified to even say something to her without hearing her shit. I feel bad for him. And let me get my notes because I took notes on these two because this was just absolutely to the point. I said that when he says something that she doesn't like, she changes like, and she has no compassion. There's nothing there with her because even when it got to the point, even though she was a little emotional, but it wasn't genuine to me when he talked about the law.
It wasn't to me either.
When they were exercising. First of all, she mocked his craft. If you're married to someone or dating someone and they're in a certain profession and then you try to play with them like she did, they had their little role-playing exercises and she did the whole, I'm the personal trainer and he's a personal trainer. And she didn't even do her due diligence. She was making a joke about it. Like she was doing these stupid little, she had the bands, like the weight bands or the stretch bands around her legs. And she's doing these stupid movements. And he's just well, yeah, that she doesn't know what she's doing. You know, she doesn't work out. And I'm saying to myself, this is this man's livelihood. At least learn something and stop making a joke of it. You know what I mean? Like, put some emphasis into it and show the man that you truly care, or you're truly interested in what he does for a living. You may not like it, but fake the funk and try it at least. You know, make an effort. I don't know what to say about them. I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think she has the wherewithal. I don't think she really likes him. I don't think she has the sack to say she doesn't want to be in this. I don't know. I could be wrong. I was wrong in the beginning, thinking they were the next friggin' Woody and Armani, but I think she's gonna ride this wave to the end. And I don't think she's going to want to stay married to him. I don't think she's attracted to him. I don't think she likes him. I don't think she wants to be around him. He does not do it for her. They're not going to make it. Chris?
The last flame on the candle, you guys had a fire. Oh, Jasmina. And it's gotten smaller for me, smaller and smaller to a single candle. Like this, and I'm like this.
Well, my candle blew out.
Done.
Yeah,
I am done
with her on Wednesday.
I am done with her. Her stank ass attitude, her stank ass looks. Look, you can, and to all these couples, I get it. If you don't like the dude or you don't like the woman that you're married to, fine. But you can be civil. Yep. You can be nice. Yep. You can be compassionate. Be like, okay, and I'm trying, but it's not really my thing. And now, forgive me, but even Merla was at least kind of trying, even though we all knew she ain't into him. She kind of is, well, and we're hoping she'll get more into him. And she seems like but bottom line, she wasn't into him. But at least she kind of tried it, at least, or at least was doing the exercise.
I thought she was into.
She was into him. Yeah, I think she was.
I knew from yeah.
I mean,
it seemed like every week she got a little closer.
Right, but she was at least trying, and at the bottom line, she wasn't been from the beginning. Fine, but at least you tried.
Right.
Look, if you don't, Michael, to me, he's a nice man. Mm-hmm. He's a considerate man. He's trying. He's putting in the effort. He's not like, you know what? If I was Michael, he's like, you know what? You got a stank ass attitude. You talk to me rude. I don't like how you look at me. I don't like how you chastise me. I'm not one of your kids. Don't do that shit.
That's the worst thing you can do to a man, a whole ass grown ass man. Do not treat him like he's your child or anybody's child for that matter.
And he is a nice man. Mm-hmm. He seems like a nice man. Now, he does have some issues. Everyone's got some issues. But he's trying. He wants to be there. He's doing whatever. And when he says to her, I'm trying to get you to help me talk to you. How do you want me to talk? Well, you should know how to talk to me. He says, no, I'm really trying to understand. Help me.
Michael.
Help me. Help
Michael.
me.
Michael, I don't like your tone.
Oh, my
Michael, calm down. God. I don't like your tone. We're role playing.
Did you see the preview? Did you see the preview?
No, my DVR cut it off before the preview, and I was like, I ain't going back.
She turns and says to him, you don't make me wet.
Yeah. That really made me say, you know what? You and Olajuwan, both of y'all can go to fucking
belong
hell.
To each other. Again, that disrespectful. Like, why can't you just say, I'm not attractive to you physically. I'm not there yet. Very simple.
It looked like they're in the middle of a heated thing, and she said, you know what? What's something else? So fine. If that's the case, then you don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be a bitch.
Because if let's just flip the tables. If he said that bullshit to her, she'd have lost her shit. If he said, you don't make my dick hard. That's why I talk to you the way I talk to. You my wife, but I can't even get a hard on looking at your ass.
Oh boy.
Oh, she would have been all in it. I'm team Michael on this one. I think she's got, you're right, Shahida, in that she's got trauma too. Like she has dated men out. She has never dated a guy in the same state as her. She's got, she has no good role models for parents as far as marriages. I mean, it's no secret that her mother and her birth mother basically walked out on her children, hence why the stepmother adopted them. So she's got maybe she's got trust and commitment issues, and she's just got her guards up. But again, you got to deal with that shit before you marry a goddamn stranger.
But again, too, I get your trauma, and I understand, but he has trauma and he's not treating her like shit. It's a character flaw, what she has, because to totally disrespect a person and then treat them like garbage because you are not attracted to them, and that might be a part of it or whatever. There's an immaturity problem that you need to deal with. There was one thing that she did too that just came out last night. Oh my god! But keep going.
When he was crying,
it's just emotional terrorism at this point. Because for me, we can't be all lovey-dovey on Monday and everything's going wonderful. And then the next day, it's like World War III, and you're just being completely rude to me and disrespectful.
It's not World War III because he's not fighting with her. It's Russia on Ukraine. That's what it is. It's straight up fucking assault. Now, me, once again, on this whole thing. Look, if you're not ready for this process, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? If there's a chance it's someone you're not going to be attracted to, but you have to learn to work around whatever, and they match you for a reason, why are you doing it?
Thank you.
Why are you doing it? If you've never been in a relationship with someone in the same thing, in the same state, and you know that you're going to be living with this man for 2 weeks and this, that, and the other, and not know anything about it, then why are you doing it?
And if you have past
why are you doing it, girl?
And if you have past trauma in your life, because we all have experienced some trauma in our lives, if you don't want to talk about it, if you don't want to deal with it, why are you there?
Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it?
That's the quote of the day, Chris.
So when these people are in here that haven't gone through therapy, that have not dealt with their issues, this, that, and the other, but you're going to be married to someone at first sight that you don't know who they are. It's a gamble. But when you say, okay, what do I have to deal with? Okay, what do I have? What does Jasmine have? I'm not really attracted to him. No. He's a nice man, though. He seems like he's a nice man. He's got a nice body. He's got a good family. Okay, I'm not attracted. Let me at least see what they matched me for a reason. Let me at least see if there's something here. Maybe just like Marla. I can't believe I keep on talking about Marla. But at least she's going to go through some of the exercises. But, at least be there if she's – but don't – she's rude.
This is what I was going to say. When they were at the picnic and he was just like, he was getting frustrated. Like, I'm trying to figure out. She was just like, calm down. Gaslighting the fuck out of him. And I'm like, that is so Alyssa. No wonder they all get along. Like, calm down. Don't raise your voice. He wasn't raising his voice. You're raising your voice.
Don't be
aggressive.
aggressive.
Need to calm down. You can't take any kind of criticism. She can't take any kind of criticism. Like her friend said, you think that you're right all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have so many things that you need to work through. And back to what you said, Tanya, about like you were riding her so hard in the beginning. We all were to an extent, because I think a lot of people looked at her and said, oh my God, look how gorgeous she looks in that dress. Oh my God, she looks so beautiful. And that one day and all the time leading up to this, she there was always a stiffness, but then there was a lightness too. And we saw a little bit of that lightness and we thought, wow, they're going to be great together. I never thought that there was going to be Woody and Amani though, because fuck that. But there was a lightness to it. So a lot of people fell for her looks. And I think that's what she probably gets over a lot on. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And then they get to know her, jump away.
Perfect. I mean, it's a perfect example of you can be the most gorgeous woman in the room, open your damn mouth and turn into the ugliest person in the room.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm not, I feel for Michael the same way that I feel for Katina. Neither one of those two can come back for me. They deserve better.
Yes.
Blow her wick out. Blow her wick out.
Yes, blow that out, boo boo. Blow it out.
But you know what? How many?
My Tanya Evelina Candle, gone. She's gone.
Down to the save that though, because I'll repurpose it and make you.
Do you know how many dysfunctional people and relationships are on this show right now?
It's ridiculous.
It's a lot. There's a lot. Not all of them.
Of them.
I think Stephen Noy. Might as well get into that.
Okay.
I think Stephen Noy, when she was testing him. I think she was testing him. And with that whole, I'm leaving, I'm taking whatever, and then he came back and he was mature and all that kind of stuff. And then, she apologized, whatever. And then when she said to him, I can't believe that this man really loves me. I think she kind of needed that.
Listen,
I think she kind of needed that. She's like, this man.
No,
she
forced that man to telling her he loved her. We all know anybody with half a brain cell.
He told her.
Oh, child. Any man with any person with half a brain cell in their head watched that shit on the beach. And when he said it, he knew he don't love her.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
he was forced into saying it because the earlier
she was surprised.
She wasn't she was relieved. She was happy and relieved.
And surprised.
Because I don't know why she's surprised, because all she did, Chris, the whole fucking episode was fucking have conversations with him about,
and he wasn't having it.
You don't love me.
And he was not having it at the beginning. Say, look, I'm not ready. There's something the other, we're just getting to know each other. But he says to her, you know what? I love you. I do love you. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God, I love you too. And then in the the side thing, she's like, I think I just needed to what did she say? She said, after all we went through, is like, this man really loves me. This man really loves me. And she believes it and he believes it. So whether we say they are or not, they both believe it. He wouldn't say it because when he had the opportunity at the beginning and she said, I love you, and he could have been like, I love you too. He wasn't saying, he's like, no, we need to get it. And I think it proved to him why he was so hurt when she left and he was this. And then he's like, oh my God, I'm really having feelings for this girl. And that led to when she apologized, at least, and they got through it. And then he's like, okay, well, obviously I think they're going to work out.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, I think so.
I no, maybe maybe that's the bitterness in me and the jadedness in me. I think, keyword, he said he loved her. He didn't say he was in love with her. Shit, I love a lot of people.
No, he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that.
I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I think he'll get there in time, but I think he just said it to shut her ass up, because through the entire episode, she would not shut up about having this goddamn love discussion. And I think he was like, let me take this bitch to the beach. And from the looks of it, Shahida, it looks like he took her ass to damn Wollaston Beach, where Whitey Bulger done buried all the bones. And I'm saying to myself, all the beaches he could have taken her to, why is he there? No, but if it wasn't Wollaston,
because the clam shack is delicious, and that's
why. Tony's too. But I ain't sitting on Wollaston Beach and having a goddamn picnic. But
because the Seagulls are gangster, and they will get your shit.
True. I have to say that we'll have to agree to disagree, Chris, on that. I don't think he loves her. I think he just said to make her feel good. Because how do you fall in love with somebody in a week?
Yeah, but see, that's where
it's longer than a week. It's longer than a week.
2 weeks.
It's longer than 2 weeks. They've been together 3 weeks now.
But even then, Tanya, you have the whole thing in the first place. You can't even fall in love in the first week, 2 weeks, whatever, at all. So you're already coming from that point of view. These people have been living with each other every day and dealing with it every day for so long. And I think it sparked in him when he really missed her and he felt helpless when she didn't come back. And she was like this. but I think that was a test for her to see how much he really liked her. Because she's like, I think I'm in love with you. And he's like, but I think she was like, you know what? In the back of her head, I think she's like, you know what? Let me see if I do this and see how he reacts and to see if he loves me or not. Some immature fucking young girl shit.
Bullshit.
And she did that. And then he was like, no, really, really. And she's like, oh, okay, well, then we can love each other now. I think I think they're both. I think it's gonna be. They're gonna be fine. But the fact, I don't think he would say "I love you" to shut her up. I think he said it that he really. He doesn't seem like the person that would be pushed into anything that he didn't want to fucking be in. He's a grown man. He's a grown man, and if he really didn't love her or whatever, I think he would wait to the last minute or until he was very, very sure, because he made that point in the first place. But so
we'll see. You already know how I feel about that.
I feel like they'll make it. I just think Nori. I think it's a good balance because she is immature, and he seems to be a little bit more mature, and they can balance that out, and she can kind of grow with him because there's a lot of growing up that she needs to do.
Yes.
And he seems to have some patience, but I wonder how far his patience will go with her.
Thank you. I agree with you too that I think they will make. I think out of all the couples that they'll probably be the only ones to make it at this stage.
And Olajuwan.
I don't know. I don't think
they're gonna stay together.
They're gonna make
it.
I
think they're gonna stay together. I just don't want them to.
Right.
I don't want them to. I feel like my girl deserves so much better.
Yes, she does.
I'm gonna be looking for somebody for her. I'm looking for somebody for you, Katina.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Rhode Island has some good men. I know I still got connections in Boston. He ain't the one. Mr. I ain't never dated a black woman. Fuck him. Anyway.
Please.
Can I just say something about Mark and Lindsay?
Oh, we going to them now. We might as well end on them.
Yeah, might as well. Dude, yeah, that's his look. How did we go from last week to them sitting at a table together?
Oh, did you miss? Oh, so you missed?
No. I caught the beginning. I caught the beginning. But there was a conversation that we were not privy to.
No.
Because there were apologies needed. I needed to see how that played out before I saw them sitting at a table. Yeah, they weren't speaking and it was tense. But how'd you end up in the same place with her after she calls you broke ass little ball man? How'd you end up there?
That is true.
How?
Yep. That's right. They didn't address that.
I think he's well, that whole first, how awkward was that whole first when they're eating and everything and they're not even saying anything and she's like,
she was being an asshole. She was being a bitch.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, so how was your day? Fine.
You, how was yours?
And the idea that she's like, you're gonna have to win me.
Right.
After what you just
like you're a prize.
This man? I'm like, but you know what? You said it last week. You said if he doesn't address this with her next week, you would lose all respect for him. That's what you said, Tanya.
And I'm done because guess what he ended up doing? He ended up apologizing to her. Later, you see that part in the episode before they went to, then they went on their little sushi date and he sat up in that kitchen and was like groveling about, I don't appreciate
the sushi date. I fell asleep.
When he said whatever he said to, it was on the sushi date, whatever he said to her, and now she's all like in love with him. And I'm saying to myself, when I saw that, I was like, nah, brother, look at here. That episode should have started with them replaying that tantrum that she had and how she basically disrespected and emasculated his ass. He should have been the one sitting at that breakfast nook. She should have been cooking the breakfast and she should have been asking him them small ass, stupid ass questions like, so how you doing? And he should have been like, I'm good.
I think when I saw them at the table and she was giving him all that attitude, I'm like, maybe he didn't hear exactly what she said. Because it's behind the door, it's muffled. Of course, they're gonna let us hear it, or whatever. But regardless of the thing, because he did, in my opinion, I said it last week, that he did owe her an apology too for bringing it up in front of everybody. That was it should have been a private conversation. But her reactions and the words that she said to him, she did him just like Olajuwan did Katina, just like Jasmina did Michael. The level of disrespect and common courtesy and decency towards somebody that you sleep in the same house with, amazing.
Unbelievable.
I hate everybody except for Steve, Katina, and Noi in that order.
You don't like Mark?
I like Mark.
I like Mark. I don't have respect for him.
I like Mark.
Okay.
I just can't respect him.
But also,
not anymore. Not after that. My respect
I think
is
Mark.
gone.
I think Mark has already decided, but he's just going ahead and going through the motions of what do I have to do. I think that's what it is. I'm like, okay, we're married. We'll try to get this. I'm not going to be an asshole about it. The things that Katina should be doing, or not Jasmina.
Yeah.
What she should be doing, like he's like, she's too much. She's too much for you, and she's like, she is going to be alone forever with her 3 cats. She's going to be alone forever because with that kind of attitude, Mark is the only person in the world that had a chance for her because he was nice and he wants it, and she don't have any. What prize are you? The booby prize.
Thank you.
You ain't no prize.
Thank you.
But I see her I see a lot of women just like her married and goddamn. When I used to work for the bank, men would have wives just like her come into work and talk about that shit. Well, leave the bitch. What? You come in here talking about this is who you go home to and she's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Just like her.
All the time.
She'll get somebody.
I'm sure she will. Yeah. Look.
But now she's on TV and she just made herself look worse.
I don't know if she's going to. Well, she bounces the relationships. That's why we know she bounces the relationship to fuck some. She doesn't give anything because she knows she has a lot of healing and work to do. She is a mess. She is a straight up train wreck.
And she got upset when Mark basically told her the truth and said, "I think you are
a bitch, but
you are a loving person."
He was trying to.
He said, I think you are a loving person.
Deep down inside.
And she was offended.
She was offended by that. Look, he could have said, Chris, you're right. He could have said, I think you're a fucking bitch, because she is. She's an ignorant friggin'. I just don't like her. I don't like her.
And there's not a lot to like. She's too opinionated. She thinks, in my professional opinion.
Oh, God.
Sit your drunk ass down.
Basically.
It's not even, it's really honestly not even with relationships. It's with people in general.
Exactly. I said that last week.
She's a Karen. Right. She is an absolute Karen. She is the married at first sight Karen. She's always like, I can speak my mind. It's always about, whatever. Look.
To me, she's that what is it? When keeping it real goes wrong. She's like a walking poster board for people. And I always say, being ignorant and saying your piece is not keeping it real. It's just being ignorant and saying what you want to say. You have to understand that you're dealing with other people. So you have to be mindful of other people's feelings and how they might take stuff. And then you know what? Sometimes you just have to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Lindsay. Shut the fuck up.
She can't do it. She can't.
She can't do it. She can't do it. Well, look at her. We always go back to the father and the brother.
Exactly.
At the wedding, even in the wedding pictures, like this. Like, yeah, she's grabbing a crocodile by the tail.
And at the housewarming, everybody that is associated with her knows how she is. The friend at the housewarming. Oh, when Mark was trying to beat around the bush, and she's like, "Oh, you want to know how to reel her in?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, let's go talk." And I'm saying to myself, Mike and Mark are deathly afraid of their spouses. They are like battered women walking on eggshells at home, being mindful of how they act, what they say, because they're fearful that at any given moment they could say or do the wrong thing that's going to set them off, and all hell's going to break loose. Who wants to live like that? I would have been gone. Maybe Mark didn't hear her in what she actually said in the bathroom, but he heard her, and she was acting like a complete beast.
I would
And he
not be
heard her.
surprised. I would not be surprised if she actually said it to him. Wait, I don't know if you heard me. I think she would be like, "Look, I don't think you heard me. Go back to your mama, you little limp dick, $60,000 year salary, weak motherfucker."
With your bed bugs.
Did you hear me?
With your bed bugs and your girlfriend. That's
Can
your
you hear me
landlord.
now? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know why? Because she
she's
feels
awful.
she doesn't hold back. She likes to address things as they come.
Oh my God.
So she doesn't hold back. And him holding back, she's like she said, he's weak. He's weak. He proved her right in that next scene, because I remember you said last week, if they jump to the scene and they haven't addressed that, I'm done with him. And like I said, I don't dislike Mark. I think he's probably is a nice person, but I don't need to see you and your balls separated from each other. So I'm done.
I'm with you. I like him.
But he's done though.
A little disposition about himself. He's got some compassion about himself. He's just weak, and he's just a doormat. And if he's gonna, and like she said,
I see.
Here's the other thing. She at the after party, where she has no filter. She has no problem. She got so offended when he said, "I think there's a loving person like deep down inside of you." She got all fucking offended. But she has no problem with spilling his business all in these streets. She got up on the after party, and what did she say?
It was towards the very end, right? And then Rudy was trying to tell her, "Okay, well, that's for another time." I can't remember what it was, but I know.
Oh my God, what did she say about him? But I was like, are you serious right now? Like, you don't say that shit about your husband. And it was something about him. It wasn't like she was making something up.
Was it sex or something?
It was right on the top of my head, and I cannot remember.
Oh, my bad.
I just had a brain freeze. But she said something, and Jasmina and Noy, legit, and Rudy Huxtable's necks just was like, fuck?
And they weren't even discussing something like that. It was like very random that she put it into the conversation. And I
think that's trying to make her feel better. Make people think that it's more him than it's actually her. She's trying to deflect the blame to something else. It's like, oh well.
But we see what we see.
Oh my!
What did Keisha Knight Pulliam? What did she say to Jasmina that I missed?
She basically started it off and she said to her, when Michael was here, I had to check Michael and not check him. She said, I had to call him out and tell him he was wrong for the whole female roommate thing. She said, I called him out. She's like, and I got to call you out. She's like, because your tone, she basically called her out on her tone and how she's like, you're telling someone to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And you don't know how to talk to them. Good. And Jasmina, again, it's like a light switch with her. Jasmina was sitting there, had her drink, all sassafras and shit. And she's like, yes. And when Rudy Huxtable went at her, she looked at Rudy. If looks could kill, Rudy Huxtable we'd be talking about Rudy Huxtable dead. And Rudy Huxtable didn't even allow her to say shit. Rudy Huxtable was like, you was wrong for that, girl. But I'm gonna let you marinate on that. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back and we're gonna go to Noy. She basically shut it down. She wasn't even giving her the opportunity to try to justify or say anything. And Jasmina, as they were going to break, Jasmina was just sitting there looking at Rudy like, bitch. I know you.
Really?
And Rudy Huxtable was just like this. I'm gonna drink my drink.
Don't let me get Bill Cosby after you, girl.
Huh?
No, I'm joking. I'm like, Rudy's like, don't let me get Bill Cosby after you.
Woo, woo, woo. Don't let me get Dr. Huxtable, honey.
But well, that's good. I mean, she needed to be called out on it. I really, from the little bit of that I did see when I woke up and saw it playing, I don't think we know that was shot a while ago. I don't think she's learned anything. I don't think that she's learned anything from. I don't know if they have if they're watching the show weekly, just like us, and then coming on. But she hasn't seemed to like she's matured from those steps.
Yeah, I wonder how they shoot them, or like what the time frame is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm always I'm always thinking about when they go, well, when so and so did so and so. I'm like, did they do it first and then had them watch it and then had them tell them the feelings beforehand? And you know what I mean? When they have, when they're telling their personal things, or like, did they do it right? When do they say, okay, stop, let's go to your professional and talk about it right now? You know what I mean? Or do they wait like a day? Or I wonder how they film that.
I don't know. But I do know, I saw on the internet that they've already recorded the reunion and stuff. And
oh.
And
I'm not going to give spoilers, but they've recorded the reunion. And from what I heard, they've recorded part 1, I believe, of the reunion. And from what I heard on the interwebs, it ain't nothing nice.
Well, it wouldn't be, because this season is nothing nice.
Well, I know. And I don't think any season's going to get any better. I think that the quality of people out there is just shit at this stage of the game. I think, and we have our podcast on it, but I think at this point, these type of shows are starting to run their course, and it's starting to get dead. It's starting to get old, because now these people have realized I can get on these shows
just for fame,
just
15 minutes.
I can parlay it, regardless if my marriage succeeds or what have you. I can parlay this into people are going to follow me on my social media. I'm going to get, the blue check. I'm going to get verified. And then I'm going to be doing all of these ads. I'm going to be asked to appear at different clubs and be hosting at different things. I'm going to make some money off of this shit.
Look at Chris.
Chris, why the hell are you sitting there, bro? Well, you don't need that. You don't need that. But then again, you do need your own reality show, my brother.
Oh my God. I feel like it's just a dumpster fire. But one thing I did read on the interwebs was Dr. Viviana is not going to be on the next season.
Thank
that they
fabulous.
Goodness.
Now if we can only get rid of Dr. Pepper and keep Pastor Cal and let Pastor Cal pick
to go too. They need a whole refresh. I'm tired of all three of them.
All three of them.
Pastor Cal some good stuff. But if she goes, I think they need to start fresh. If they're gonna continue, they need to start fresh, and they need to bring some people in there that's gonna crack some whips.
Well, but also you need to have someone who understands what has happened in the years before and can have pitfalls and be like, okay, well, 2 seasons ago we tried this with so and so. So they need to keep one of them. I don't mind Dr. Pepper. I think she's like kind of the nice one who kind of like is like, okay, and Pastor Cal's okay. I just don't like Viviana. I don't think Viviana's like, she's just not my favorite.
Well, she doesn't really bring anything to the table, but that's how I feel like with Pastor Cal. The reason why I say get rid of him is because he could bring so much more to the table, and he doesn't. It's like, and then when he comes in and he's just like, I'm gonna check you and blah 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 blah, at the wrong time. Started at the beginning, and then I feel like with Dr. Pepper, she's like, oh, we do these interviews and these personality tests and all this stuff. Like, how are y'all doing these personality tests? How are you doing these psychological exams? Because none of these people should have made it on for the simple fact that they all seem to suffer some type of trauma.
And what they need to do is they need to give the producers a little bit more leeway, a little bit more responsibility. Not just there to record and, stage stuff, but when shit starts hitting the fan and it like the Olajuwan Katina thing where he's just basically berating her, there's no expert around. they need to have someone there, even if it's a professional, but that's not Cal, Vivian, or Pepper. They could have someone that follows the producers that's there to step in, because some of this stuff is just, it's difficult to watch. And people shouldn't have to go through that on national TV. I get it. They signed up to be on this experiment, but there's some things that you just, like the Lindsay thing in the bathroom. Some things, you don't need to be tormented like that and be berated like that.
Maybe have each couple have their own, like a support system, a support analyst or something, therapist, a support therapist that follows them through the process, so that we get more positive results instead of just trash TV of people doing the absolute worst. Because like you said, I saw some of Olajuwon's thing, but the ending I really missed towards the end, where people were just like, it's almost traumatizing for us to watch it. So if somebody was to step in and be like, yo, this is not how you talk to a woman. You signed up for this show to find X, Y, and Z. Let me remind you why we felt that this woman was for you. But you can't speak to her that way. You can't treat another person this way. So give them the support that they need to have a real good foundation, because it's hard when people have known each other 3-4 years to have a good foundation for marriage. Talk less of no foundation at all. So give them something other than, let's just throw them in the pit and see who can crawl out. No, give them something more than that. I'm tired of it. It's just, and this season, and unfortunately it's Boston, they just bought nothing but the trash. Nothing but the trash.
Yeah, I agree with you. Straight up garbage. On a side note, though, before I forget, I'd like to wish my brother Mel a happy birthday. Today's his birthday. So what up, Mel? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mel.
Happy birthday. What's today's date? March
4. March 4. So we're done. We went through our couples. It is what it is.
Real quick, can I get like 10 minutes?
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
I don't need 10 minutes myself. Oh, Love is Blind.
We got to.
Did you finish?
I did.
Yes. You finished, Chris?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Can I say one thing?
Please.
So what's the young black girl's name? I love her.
Ayana.
I do like her.
I do like her, and even though she wasn't number 1, and that stuck with me, it was just like, oh, I don't know if I could be with somebody that picked me as number 2 on TV. But
here's the thing: he lied.
Well, huh?
He lied.
You can say that. I didn't think
not come out. I was waiting for it to come out because she doesn't know that he proposed to Mallory. He didn't tell her he proposed to her because she was very specific when
she didn't propose. He didn't propose to her.
Yes,
he said, if I asked you to marry me, if I did that, would you be interested in that? And then she told him no. He didn't say, will you marry me, sit down on the ring? And then
I'm going to have to go back because I swear to Jesus, he got on one knee and he proposed to her.
No, he didn't. He said exactly what Chris said. And that's why he said,
go ahead, Gina.
Oh, no, that's why I kept saying, when you kept saying he lied to her. And I'm like, okay, and I went back and I'm like, but he technically didn't ask. I mean, I consider it still almost a proposal because if she had said yes, definitely.
But
it wasn't. It. But it's like, semantics at this point.
Splitting hairs, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
and he did have connections with both of them. He had connections with both of them. And he was like deciding that, she's so cute. She's
you know who she really reminds me of? She reminds me of your daughter on Upload.
Oh, a little bit with the same hair.
Oh, in her look.
Yeah, her look. I was like, she looks so familiar. And then when I saw the preview of Upload, I was like, that's what she looked like.
And then right on the heels of that, I don't like Mallory. I don't like her at all. I'm glad he said no to her. She wasn't into him. You can always feel like a feeling of like
she was shady.
Something oily about her. Yeah, something. I mean, she's smiling and she's doing nice things, and and I didn't
But I
trust
was
that. And I think
like, he
Yeah.
could feel it too. But remember
could
when
feel
they
it
were
too.
at the couples thing, and then she was talking to the dude. That
Jarrell.
was an intimate conversation, and in her and the guy that she was with. I can't remember his name.
Salvatore, was that Salvatore?
He got drunk and he wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not drunk and I'm not feeling that conversation. It was very intimate, and I didn't like the
And
black
he dressed it with
that
her.
either. I didn't like that. You needed to step away. It was disrespectful to both of the parties that they ended up.
Absolutely. Yep. Can we talk about dorky ass retard? Oh, we're not supposed to say that. Special needs Shane.
I do not know what anybody was finding attractive.
Neither was I. Right, there you go, Chris. I was like, and on the wedding day, I was like, who dressed him? He looked like a complete slob on his wedding day. He's like,
tell me I'm pretty. Tell me, why can't you tell me I'm good looking?
Yeah, why can't you tell me I'm hot? Like, don't you think I'm sexy? I'm like, oh my God, who wants a man like that always needs validation, dude? Get some help. Take your ADHD medication. Take something, because there was nothing about him. He just, to me, every time he came on, I was just like,
Totally.
But the argument that they had when she was just like, I have ideas of the kind of thing he probably said to her, but how she was just like the disrespectful things that he said to me, and she just couldn't bring herself to say it. I have an idea of what kind of things he
ended up saying it at the end. She ended up saying what he said to her at the end. Yep. She said that he told her he hated her. Okay, and that like he should have never even been with her from the get-go, what have you. And I'm saying to myself, yet you showed up for this wedding. You sat through makeup and hair, and you cried your eyeballs out the whole time, and you looked so.
No, they have to.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
They have to show up.
Yeah,
they have to get to the altar to say no.
That's part of
I don't know if I could do that, and hence why I'm not on TV, because there's no effing way I could have done that shit. You tell me that shit the night before our wedding, I don't. And he was drunk, and of course, like I always say,
and it's gonna get worse if he's drunk.
Thank you. But I was just glad that she.
Well, can we have an old-fashioned fountain at the wedding?
Well, no, and remember he wanted to wear the weird tuxedo, like that, the floor length with the tails and all that, like Bridgerton.
He's 14. That's what it is. He's a 14-year-old game playing white. I'm sorry, he is white, but he's a 14-year-old teenager. Period.
He would have been
in the body of a 25-year-old meathead.
He would have been perfect for Shayna. Him and Shayna would have got along well. You know, crazy Shayna.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
She didn't know what she did. I don't think she really had a clue of who he was, because I don't think he's perfect for anybody. Like you said, he's still a boy.
He is a man boy. Like he's a
boy.
He's a tall, muscular boy. Yep. Yeah.
And who else is there?
Oh, then there was crazy Nick and what's his Danielle. Insecure ass Danielle.
Oh my god.
Now, did the reunion come on today?
I think it comes out today, right?
The reunion might be on today. We're gonna have to watch it.
The reunion is on today, so I'm dying to see if they're still together, because I didn't like him. One, I thought he was gay. I think he's gay.
as well as underground abusive, underground.
Big
like,
time.
gaslighting.
Petty.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'll be here for you. I love you. Calm down. Oh, and she's just. I have not seen someone so insecure about everything.
But then again, look at her mother. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Her mother was a complete dingbat. I'm not editing that one out. Sorry, it is what it is. Her mother is it the reunion?
And today, episode 11.
Oh, I'll be watching that
The
tonight.
reunion.
We should come back and talk about the reunion if it's really good. But
yeah, we should.
but back to Danielle and him.
God.
Remember, he was really trying to get some shit started with over Mallory and I did not. That was when I was like, I do not like him.
He's a shit stirrer.
and
He's
he-
a
and he's
gossip.
like,
He's a gossip.
So
And he was like,
what do you
"Go
guys
to the
think
other."
about so and so? So what do you guys think? Well, yeah, so and so. He's like, well, I heard. He's like a little gossip. I was like, you
Little bitch ass.
little bitch ass motherfucker.
Sure was
Yeah.
a bitch ass.
Tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
some shit in
And he was-
confidence.
He was initiating it too. He was like going up to them and he's like, so what's going on? Da, 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 da. Well, did you hear that? Da, 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 da. I'm just like, dude.
Very telling, Shahida, when his mother said, we never thought he'd get married. I was like, because he's gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. I feel like if they stay together, it won't be more than a year. And then eventually.
Oh, did you hear that Chin's ex-husband, the elf, is gay? He came out?
No.
No, he didn't.
Oh, well, I don't even know why I said no. I was shocked because we already knew that.
I'm so mad at you right now. I'm done. Good day, sir. Good day.
Funny. That's funny.
All right, ladies.
All right. I just wanted that 10 minutes.
Nice.
We'll be back after we watch the reunion of Love is Blind. But until next week,
indeed.
have an awesome weekend, y'all. We'll see you next week.
And hopefully we don't find